I used to think that making more money would solve all my problems until I found myself broke with a way bigger paycheck. And you're not alone if you feel this way, as I felt this way time and time again. And also, a lot of my friends that are making way more money than me feel this way as well. Just because your income is increasing doesn't mean that you're better off, because you could be spending the exact amount that you make. So, in that case, have you really gotten better? You just raised in scale. And it kind of made me feel stuck rather than the success that I thought it would make me feel. So, for context, I am 23 years old, a millionaire from YouTube and real estate, still in college part time because I wanted a backup plan and I also enjoy learning. But most days, I just play video games. Let me walk you through how I went from balling out on $1,000 plus on clothing hauls and new shoes every single month to realizing I was just chasing people I didn't really even care about. Didn't care about their opinions, and they probably didn't even glance an eye at me. So, starting off with any sort of business or hustle or side hustle, you basically get paid an income. You know how much you make. It changes person to person, whether you get it from YouTube, a job, side hustles, or whatever vehicle you do have. It doesn't change the fact that we all do get an income. And after making some money, it felt great. I, I basically said, like, damn, I'm really making some real tangible money and I deserve to enjoy it. No, the hell I didn't. Okay. I mean, okay, I did, but not to the degree that I took it. That moment when you realize that, wow, you can afford things that people dream about, it gets a little bit crazy. So basically, for me, I didn't spend anything until I was around 22 years old. And then after that, I realized that I made a decent $5,000 to $10,000 a month. I was basically making salaries that people working an actual job made. And I did it from the comfort of my home. It was really easy to do because I ran a gaming YouTube channel. It was great. So I decided that since I made this many thousands of dollars, I just, drop a couple $100 every single month for shoes, because I always loved shoes. But as a kid, when I was in high school, I was never able to afford it. And so I really thought this was it. This was my moment where I actually start showcasing and also just wearing some of the stuff that I earned. And so that started for a while and I enjoyed it. But then I went into the clothing loop, where if you buy shoes and you don't have clothes that match the shoes, you now got to buy clothes. So that's where I spent a few $1,000s on streetwear, designer brands that I don't even really wear. Okay, 80% of the stuff that I bought during this little spending spiral at 22, I only wear like 20% of it. Okay, I have like two go-to pairs of shoes, I have like three go-to pairs of outfits, and the rest, I don't even feel that confident in wearing. Some of it barely kind of fits me the way I kind of want it to. And so this spending really became a spiral, an emotional reward, a flex, a little dopamine hit, like I was TikTok scrolling. That's how it started to feel like. And I feel like this stuff isn't talked about a lot. This lifestyle stuff really creeps up. And you don't even need to be making that much. Like, even if you make a few $1,000s a month, you spending that few thousand on things like this, it could be the same exact thing. Ubers instead of walking is a really harsh way that lifestyle creeps up to you. Eating out way more, this is something I was guilty of too. Like, why was I door dashing meals? Why? I had home food. And also tech upgrades that I didn't need. I thought I needed an iPad, so I got the iPad Pro. All right, this thing is a glorified notebook. That's all I use it for. I just use it as a notebook for college. I would have been fine with a $200 iPad and saved 800 bucks. But no, I wanted to get that. I wanted to get the new Apple Watch. That was a band for something on my wrist that I only wear when I go biking or running. Are we serious? Like, see what I'm saying? There were cheaper alternatives. I just thought getting the newer thing would be better, but oh well. It's happened and I've moved on from it. But if you wanted my genuine advice, getting to where I'm at right now would have been so much easier if I just, waited a bit. Waited a bit until I made a disgusting amount of money. Why it felt good? was just because it was stuff I couldn't afford back then, but the emptiness that I felt after was horrible. It's no different than dining out and realizing the bill that you had to pay for it. That's the empty feeling that I felt. It really was a temporary high of bawling out. But then I also remember a moment of financial discomfort. Things like bills, taxes, and even seeing your savings barely move an inch or even just lowering day by day. These are some of the things that I like to remind myself of because that is where I came from. I didn't come from money. I came from the trenches, bro. It's bad. My internal self was basically like, how am I making more than I ever made and still not feeling like I'm ahead? That's because I'm spending like I'm making 10x my income. That's literally why. So I like to introduce the concept of chasing the Joneses. Some of you guys might already know this. Now, I don't know it to a T. I just understand the concept, but it's trying to match people who don't even care about you. So if someone like your neighbor got the newest car, you think that that's the normal. So that's normal for you now, and you're trying to strive to keep up with them. But then it leads you into this spiral and makes you poorer than you were before. And so, if anything, even if you don't act on this video, just take this as a wake-up call. Now, I know this kind of affects people that are in that mid-level range where they already have a business, so they have a bit of cash flow, or you're working a job and you're making some money. You can still apply this to this day. It will save you a lot of money, and it'll let you invest in things you wouldn't have had access to, like stocks or any sort of assets, because of that saving long term. So the specific moment, for me at least, that I realized I had to snap out of it was after realizing that I only wear 20% of the stuff I bought. I was like, damn, I only wear 20% of this stuff. And even then, like, I didn't even enjoy all of it that much. So that's kind of when it really did hit me. I really wasn't building wealth with some of this money. I was just burning it to keep up appearances. Now, am I going to say I 100% regret it? Absolutely not. I love my outfits. I like feeling nice in the outfits. I just think I could have done it to a lower degree. Simple as that. What I could have done differently was if I had just invested or saved even 30% of what I spent, I'd be much more ahead than where I am now. I'm not gonna lie, like even just buying 2 pairs of shoes and a few pairs of outfits, that's enough. Didn't have to be luxury. Didn't have to be crazy streetwear. It just had to be something comfortable that I liked, that I felt confident in, and that's all it is. So the lesson was learned. The money wasn't the problem. It really was the way I was thinking at that time. So take this as a wake-up call for your own mindset and how you're thinking about all of this. I think a good reason why people are stuck with their lifestyle inflation is their ego. Like, you really can't let your ego get ahead of itself. Even me in this position, a lot of friends, they look up to me. They ask me questions about financial stuff because I have gone a bit further ahead. And that's okay. And I love talking about this sort of stuff, but don't put me on a pedestal. I'm still a learner. I'm still learning how to get from 1 mil to 5, okay? This is still my journey. I haven't finished my journey. I'm just getting started. So don't put me on a pedestal like I'm light years ahead of you. We're playing the same game. I might be a little bit further ahead, but you're 3 to 4 decisions of consistent effort away from reaching where I'm at. Yeah, it's not just you. It's a very common issue to raise your spending as your income grows. But feeling stuck often comes from the lack of being intentional about where you want to put that money. If you have a place you want to put it to and you feel horrible not doing that, that is a good way to start. You don't need to live like a monk, like someone who can't spend a single dollar. But you can't live like a baller on every paycheck either if you're paycheck to paycheck. So, if you're making more but feel like you're in the same place, this is why. Take a step back. Your ego doesn't matter. Nobody's looking at you 24/7, okay? You can take those steps back and nobody's going to question a thing. And if they do you really want them around in your life? Really reevaluate the people you have around you. But honestly, like, be honest with me. What's one thing that you're spending on just to impress other people around you? Let me know in the comments, because at least for me in my position right now, if I had to say one thing that I do still spend on, is still clothes. Now, is it thousands of dollars? Absolutely not. But $100 while I'm thrifting, $100 while I'm at some cheaper areas could get me out with like a few fits. Like just the other day, I spent $100 on summer fits because I knew all this summer I'm gonna need fits, and I only have winter, fall fits, and so I'm slowly building up my closet. Yeah, hopefully you guys intentionally spend a little bit more, save up for that freedom that we're all trying to aim for. And if this helped you out in any shape or form, feel free to subscribe and contact me. Yummy. Go ahead. It's in the description. Anyways, hope y'all have a good one, and peace.